at what is it that hurts you the most? Because the things that just keep hurting you over and over and over, if you're not able to resolve that just through letting go, then that also is pointing to your true desire or desires, just in the negative sense, right? So you have to then look to see what is the positive, what is the inverse of the thing that's hurting you the most. And I often give this example. So if you're somebody who's struggling over and over and over with material security. You just cannot seem to hold on to housing or to money, and you're just struggling and anxious and worried and frustrated and depressed about this. And it's just occupying a lot of your mental, psychic, and emotional space. Then uh, chances are there's something there for you. Like maybe you have a desire to know true abundance. So that would be useful for you to actually welcome that desire and start to put your attention on it so that you can get clarity of what that actually is. Because, see, notice a lot of the time, I mean, almost without fail, these desires which we've largely suppressed or avoided or ignored are things that we don't because we've tried to avoid them, we really don't have that much clarity about our actual desired outcome. You know, it's one thing to say, well, yeah, I want abundance. I want to feel secure. I want to feel peaceful and happy in relationship to finances and material security. Great. But that's a start. It's a helpful start. But that how does that translate into an actual lived experience? That's where you have to continue to get clarity on it, so that you can actually know what that looks like and feels like. Because only then will it be real for you, and only when it's real for you will you learn what you need to learn in order to fully satisfy that desire. Importantly, sometimes people will try to bypass this because again, it's just more suppression. They'll say, well, I don't really care about money. I don't really need money. Everybody's going to die and it doesn't really matter anyway, so who cares? And on and on and on. It can use all kinds of things to justify the continued suppression and avoidance of the desire. But um, so what? The point is not, of course, the point's not about the money. The point is about you. The point is about knowing yourself. And if you have the desire for the money, it's because whatever is necessary, whatever clarity you have to gain through sustaining your attention on that outcome will give you this necessary self-knowledge to satisfy that. So the actual satisfaction is not the material outcome. The actual satisfaction is the self-knowledge. But again, the the material outcome is a valid pathway if approached correctly in order to give you what it is that you truly want, which is the self-knowledge. But if you suppress it, you can't get it, right? Because it's a path. There's a journey that has to be taken so that you can get that clarity and that fulfillment and that self-knowledge. If you don't take those steps, then you won't satisfy that. You'll stay stuck because you'll remain ignorant. And if you just keep saying, well, nobody really needs money and money is just false and I don't really need money and everybody's going to die anyway, so who cares? And you're just fooling yourself. I mean, again, if that's a true desire that you have. For some people it's not, right? So some people can really let go. They might have anxiety about money, but if they really keep letting go, letting go, letting go, then they'll get clear and they'll realize, oh, it's not about money. I don't care about money. Never actually cared about money at all. Uh, Fine. Then for them it's not that. But for somebody who can't fully let go of that, it is their desire. So don't suppress it. It might be, let's say, I'll just use an example, financial abundance and security. Okay. So if you're that person who's hurting repeatedly for, you can't seem to gain financial security, material security, and that's hurting you, and you tried letting go and tried letting go, and you can't let go, great. That's pointing to a true desire for you. So now you know that what you truly desire is financial security and abundance, material security. Okay. So write that down. Put your attention on that every day. say, in my imagination, I experience financial and material security and abundance. In my imagination, I experience financial security and material security and abundance in my imagination, so that this is helpful so that you can bypass the mind, which otherwise would call you a liar. If you just say I experience financial security and material security and abundance, your mind's going to say no, you don't. You're a liar. But if you say in my imagination, then you bypass that resistance and you create through your imagination anyway. So it's fine. So you just say in my imagination, and you can do that in your imagination. So in your imagination, imagine that desired outcome. When you do that, your goal is to actually, so just saying I experience financial and material security and abundance, like, okay, that's interesting, but what on earth does that mean? It's not really real to you yet. That's why you have to imagine it. You have to put your attention on it so that it gets clearer. So it's not really a complete intention yet. It's just sort of it's intention light. It's not a real intention. So you have to give the time and energy to it so it gets clearer. So day after day, put your attention on it and imagine it. Now, for most of us, we won't be so fully blocked that we can't make some progress here. So there are some people who have so many blocks that they can't make any progress. I'll get to that in a second. But most of us will be able to make progress just putting attention on this every day. So you just notice, okay, what is that? What does that feel like? What does that look like? I experience in my imagination, I experience material and financial security and abundance. What is that? Just invite that as a possibility for yourself. Just take a few minutes and don't censor yourself. Just go with it. It's a creative process. If you're censoring yourself, you shutting it down. So you just have to be playful, exploratory. You can't go wrong. Just imagine. And just imagine, and new pathways will be opening up within you. That's the point. That's why you can't censor if you want success, right? You just have to be playful, imaginative, creative in the process. Just whatever comes, just let it come. And then you can prune. That's fine, like prune away, but only you have to invite the growth first. So invite the growth, like, oh, maybe this, maybe that. It's like, maybe I've got the Rolls Royce, and I've got the five mansions, and I've got the, private jet and whatever. And it's like, okay, most of that might be totally stupid and you don't really need it or want it, or maybe you do. But if that's what's coming up, fine, because just be playful, imagine. And then once that's there in your imagination, you can look at it, feel into it, play around with it, explore it, and then just see how much truth there is in that. If there's anything that's not totally true, then you can prune it by letting go, right? It's like, oh, no, I don't really need that. I don't really need that. Okay, now you've got more clarity about something, though. Keep doing this day after day. It will get clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And your goal is that it can become so clear that it's just like remembering something that happened yesterday, where there's no resistance whatsoever in your mind. Because if you think about something that happened yesterday, if you remember what happened yesterday, then it's the same faculties as you use for your imagination. Notice this. It's identical to imagination. The only difference is that with what you call memory, your mind says it happened, it's true. And with what you call just purely imagination, your mind says that's not real, it didn't happen. But otherwise, they're identical. They're both using exactly the same faculties. So your goal with this process is to imagine such that it's exactly as though you're remembering something that happened yesterday. It should have that same sense of naturalness and reality to it.